Hey, this is Here with Dr.Fred, and how do we raise our faith? Man, isn't that a huge, life-changing question right here? So the most common, well-known verse in the Bible about faith is Hebrews 11:1. Now, faith is the substance, now these words are going to be key, of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I'm putting emphasis on those very specific words because we're going to talk about those specifically. So that verse uses the word hope. The word hope. Isn't that interesting? Because faith is actually much greater than hope. So when we go back to the writings of that time, the ancient language was Aramaic. An Aramaic word for faith is Hea Moanta. Hea Moanta. And so when you look at what's the translation, what's the meaning of that word, Hea Moanta? This word also means confidence, truthfulness, firmness, trustworthy, and that Aramaic word comes from the Semitic word meaning lasting, never-ending or ceasing, eternal, and perpetual. So faith has in the root of that word, the Aramaic word, means eternal. Isn't that fascinating? So therefore, faith is never-ending, it's eternal, it's a truth like a law, it's a truth, it's a principle, it's forever. And that means it's a permanent attitude of mind and heart. Hey, that's a heck of a lot more than hope. So who the heck watered that down when they translated that into just hope? Hope to me is not the same as eternal. Eternal is way more intense. Eternal gives you a lot more confidence. Never ending or ceasing is a heck of a lot more confidence and certainly a truth. So let's go to the next word. This means faith is the substance. So if it's eternal, now it's the substance, meaning substance, something material. So faith is the substance. Faith produces substance. That means everything stands on faith. That means faith is under everything that's created. So when you look at everything that's created in the world, because we're spiritual beings, we're a creative life force, we're in the likeness and image of God. By the way, when you go back to the ancient science of gematria, that is assigning numbers to letters, because letters have sound, and the world basically is math. It's quantum physics, right? So when you look at numbers and sound and letters, soul and heaven have the same number. That means they're the same. That means heaven is inside us. Our soul and heaven are the same, which means we are divine. So when you translate and you assign the numbers to the Hebrew alphabet, heaven and soul are really the same thing. So we're spiritual beings. We're creative life force. That means faith is the foundation for all creation. Before we see things in the material world, it is our faith that is the substance. Isn't that fascinating? So now we look at every intention, everything that is created comes from faith, and faith then becomes a belief. So what do you believe? Therefore, if faith comes before everything, and that is not only the substance, leads to creation of the substance, but then it's the evidence. Faith leads to the substance. Substance is matter being formed, becomes evidence, and then that's what we see. So faith is before we see the evidence. Faith is before the substance. Faith creates the substance, and then it's the evidence that we see with our anatomical eye. But what is really seeing in faith? It's seeing with insight. I'm pointing to my third eye. It's seeing with your intuition. It's seeing with your spirit. It's seeing with your heart. Now, in Psalm 37:4, I think it is, the Lord will give you every desire of your heart. Desire comes from spirit. Desire is a vision coming from your spirit that you are supposed to manifest. And when you combine that with faith that is also eternal, and faith then becomes the creative life force. Then when your faith is so strong, it becomes a belief. Then when you have that belief, that becomes automatic, and now that creates substance, and then we have evidence. Isn't that amazing? So really the question is, where do you put your faith? What is your faith like? And so when we look at something like The Secret, the law of attraction says when you focus on it, things come to you. Faith says things come from you. Our spirit says things come from you. Our soul that is heaven inside us, which is why thy will be done and we create heaven on earth, says it comes from you. Then faith is actually projected. And then on a quantum level, material things now emanate from your belief, which is from your faith. Is your faith eternal? Then that becomes an eternal belief. Is faith a beingness? Then that becomes even an identity, which means we are divine. Then Matthew 17:20, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible. Now, why does Jesus use a mustard seed? Because if you look at the size of a mustard seed, and you guys know this, it's very small. But when that germinates, what does a mustard tree look like? Well, a mustard tree can grow up to 30 feet tall and 20 feet wide. This tiny little seed, which means if you just start with a little bit of faith, and I know you guys do this, and we grow our faith, and we realize that faith comes from our spirit, that faith is who we are, that faith is actually a beingness. Are we conscious of our divinity so our faith can grow from something small over time? And as we begin, and faith becomes substance, and then as we see evidence, then the evidence helps strengthen our faith, and our faith becomes a belief. Then it ultimately moves into an identity, and then our faith grows, and now you have this massive mustard tree. How cool is that? And those are the miracles you're creating in your life. Amazing. Then Jesus, 14:12, whoever believes in me, meaning the Christ consciousness, or believes like me, will also do the works I do, and greater works than these will he do, because I go to the Father. And so what's that mean? When you have that Christ consciousness, faith is automatic, because now it's an identity. Mark 11:23. Truly I tell you, if anyone says this mountain, go throw yourself in the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, meaning faith becomes a belief. There is no doubt in a strong belief. There is no doubt when it becomes your identity. But believes, there's that word, believes. What they will say will happen, it will be done for them. So have faith, then believe. Give gratitude to raise and empower your faith, and then grow your faith, and miracles will happen. Hey, hopefully this helps you, because this one's really for me, gang. Hey, man, this one's for me, and I hope we can all move through this together. Let's grow our faith. Let's create heaven on earth. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, because that's why we're here. We are divine. We're here to grow our faith, and let's live faithfully, faithful, and show that and shine that out into the world for people that really need it. So let's be an example of Christ's love and faith and divinity. Love you. Peace.